Borrow me your new iPhone 17. Mine died, sister said at my housewarming. An hour later, I saw her daughter's TikTok. Mom gave me an early birthday gift with my phone. When I asked for it back, Mom said don't be cheap. You'll buy another. I didn't make a scene. I just texted the venue. Cancel next month's party for reservation number 4782. That was my niece's sweet 16. I knew something was off the second my sister said, borrow me your new iPhone 17. Mine died and held her hand out like I was the waiter. We were in my living room, half the family still walking around with paper plates, pretending to admire my new townhouse. It was my housewarming, my first place I bought completely on my own. I'd spent the whole morning stressing about everything being perfect. My son, Noah, was sitting on the arm of the sofa watching me. He's 13, quiet kid, cracked old phone with a spiderweb screen he never complains about. He'd been excited to help me film a little room reveal of his new bedroom on my brand new iPhone 17 later that night. My mom was right behind my sister, already rolling her eyes. Come on, Mark. Mom said, you know Amanda needs it more than you. Her phone's always acting up. Don't be petty. It's family. I should have said no. Instead, I unlocked the phone, handed it to my sister, and said, I need it back before you leave. It has all my work stuff on it. She kissed the air near my cheek. Relax. I'm just borrowing it. Half an hour later, I was refilling the chip bowl when Noah came into the kitchen with his face pale. Dad, he said, holding out his cracked phone. You need to see this. On the screen was TikTok, my niece Haley's account. Her video was already at a couple hundred likes. The caption read, Mom gave me an early birthday gift. New iPhone 17 inches. She panned the camera down to the phone box, then to the phone in her hand. My phone. Same dark blue case I'd ordered. Same tiny chip on the corner from where I dropped it in the parking lot last week. Even my lock screen flashed for a second when she hit the side button. A photo of me and Noah at the baseball game. Everyone popped up in the comments. Dreamy dad, you deserve it, queen. Best mom ever. Someone wrote, is that your uncle's? With a laughing emoji. No reply. I felt my throat tighten. My ears were burning, so hot I could hear my own pulse. Noah stood next to me, staring at the video like it was proof of something he'd always suspected. I thought he swallowed. I thought that phone was for you. It was, I said. My voice didn't sound like mine. Out in the living room, Haley was holding the phone up for my cousins, posing, letting them swipe through filters. My sister stood next to her, grinning like she'd just sponsored the whole thing. I walked over. Noah stepped behind me. Hey, I said. Amanda, where's my phone? She didn't even look guilty. She just shrugged. That's Haley's now, she said. You heard her. It's her early sweet 16 present. You know how dead my phone was. And I'm already paying for literally everything else for that party. Haley giggled and kept tapping the screen. I didn't give you my phone, I said. I lend it to you for the night. That's still my line, my account, my work stuff. My mom slid between us like a referee no one asked for. Don't be cheap, Mark. You'll buy another, she said loud enough that the room got quieter. You make more than all of us. What's one phone? Noah stared at the floor. It's okay, Dad. He muttered. I don't need a nice phone anyway. That was the moment, not the TikTok. Not even the you'll buy another. It was my kid standing in the middle of my house, warming, looking like he'd just watched me pick a new daughter. My hands were shaking, but I didn't make a scene. I just walked back to the kitchen, pulled my own old backup phone out of a drawer, turned it on, and unlocked my banking app. I'm Mark, 39, live just outside Chicago. I'm a project manager for a logistics company, divorced. One kid, Noah, who lives with me 3 nights a week and every other weekend. My parents are 20 minutes away in the suburb I grew up in. My sister, Amanda, lives even closer to them with her husband, Dave, and their only child, Haley, who is turning 16 next month. If you ask my family, I'm the successful one. Translation, I'm the one with a stable salary and a spreadsheet for everything, which apparently also means I'm the one everyone raids when their lives catch fire. It started small. 3 years ago, when my dad temporarily lost hours at work, I set up a $400 automatic transfer to their account every month until things settled. Things never settled. The transfer just kept going. Then Amanda's car died. I co-signed on a used SUV for her so she could keep getting Haley to dance, soccer, and whatever else was essential that year. When my parents wanted to redo their kitchen before we're too old to enjoy it, I put $6,000 on my card for cabinets and appliances. They said they'd pay me back as soon as they got their tax return. That tax return turned into a new recliner for my dad and a weekend away for their anniversary. And Haley, I've paid for 2 summers of dance camp, a laptop for school, braces when their insurance wouldn't cover enough, half her travel team fees when they were blindsided by costs. I never complained. I told myself I was doing what any decent son and uncle would do. I make good money. Noah and I aren't rich, but we have enough. Helping felt right. Except Noah never got the same energy back from them. He gets late birthday gifts, if any. Once it was an obviously regifted board game with another kid's name scratched off the box. They skip his band concerts, but have never missed one of Haley's dance recital. At Christmas, he gets a hoodie or a gift card while Haley opens designer sneakers and expensive jewelry. They say it's because Haley is our only girl, and Noah is so independent. It got worse last year when Amanda tried to rope me into paying for a family cruise to celebrate Mom and Dad's 40th anniversary. We just need like $5,000 from you. She said on the phone, you make way more than us. It would mean the world to them. I told her no. I said I'd already helped with enough big things, and I wanted to focus on my own savings for a down payment. The temperature of the group chat dropped 10 degrees after that. Jokes about me being tight or Mr. Spreadsheet started popping up. Birthday cards for Noah started arriving late or not at all. They've been punishing me ever since I refused to fund that cruise. I just didn't fully see it until the day my phone walked out of my pocket and into my niece's TikTok. The Sweet 16 was supposed to be my makeup contribution back in August when I closed on the townhouse. Amanda came over to help me unpack and spent the whole time pulling up photos of expensive venues on her phone. Look at this one, she said, shoving the screen in my face. Roof deck, catered buffet, live DJ photo booth. Haley would die. I glanced at the price and nearly choked. The package was almost $9,000. Amanda, she cut me off. Relax. I already booked something more reasonable. A ballroom downtown. We just need someone to pay the deposit to lock it in. They need a card today. That someone met me. She had already given. Then my email for coordination, since I'm better at details. The contract and invoice rolled into my inbox before she even finished her drink. Reservation number 4782. Haley's Sweet 16 at Lakeshore Pavilion. Deposit $2,500. Remaining balance $3,500 due 2 weeks before the event. I hesitated. Then I told myself I was choosing to do it for Haley. For one nice thing, I paid the deposit. From that moment, I got every email from the venue. Menu options, DJ contracts, photo, booth upgrades. I dutifully forwarded everything to Amanda and my mom, who treated the whole thing like they'd planned and paid for it themselves. At Thanksgiving, my parents wouldn't stop talking about our big party for Haley. Your sister is doing so much. Mom kept saying, we're all pitching in where we can. I didn't point out that where we can meant my credit card and my inbox. So, standing in my kitchen at my own housewarming, watching my niece claim my brand new phone as her early birthday present, it hit me. It wasn't about the phone. It was about the pattern. I'd paid for their bills, their remodel, the car, the braces, the party deposit, and they still felt entitled to take from me in my own house and call me cheap when I objected. They didn't think of it as stealing. In their minds, everything I owned was just potential family property floating in a cloud above my head, waiting to be claimed. And Noah, he was the afterthought. The kid who got the leftovers once everyone else was done. I looked through the doorway at him sitting alone on the bottom stair, scrolling that cracked screen with his thumb. His shoulders were hunched up around his ears like he was trying to make himself smaller. That was it. I wasn't going to yell at them in front of a room full of people who just watched my niece unbox my phone like it was hers. I wasn't going to fight with my mom about being cheap while she clinked her wine glass against Amanda's. I was going to make exactly one decision with numbers. Quietly, I set my backup phone on the counter and pulled up the email thread from Lakeshore Pavilion. There it was. Reservation number 4782. Haley Simmons, Suite 16, March 9th. Under that, my payment confirmation, my card digits, my name listed as primary contact. I scrolled down to the coordinator's number and typed out a text. Hi, this is Mark Haynes for reservation number 4782 in March. I need to cancel the event completely. Please confirm in writing. I understand the deposit policy. My thumb hovered for half a second. Then I hit send. 3 dots appeared almost immediately. Hi, Mark. I'm sorry to hear that. I'll process the cancellation now. You'll lose 25% of the deposit. The rest will be refunded to the original card. Do you want to keep any credit on file instead? I stared at the message. My promotion bonus was coming in next month. I didn't need the money immediately. I thought about Noah's cracked phone. The way he'd said, I don't need a nice phone. Like he'd already decided he wasn't allowed to take up space. Please credit the full refundable amount to a new booking under my name later this year. I typed back. Family event TBD. Done, she replied. Reservation number 4782 now canceled. Credit note issued in your name. Confirmation email sent. I put the phone down. I didn't tell anyone in the living room what I just done. I didn't march in and make an announcement. I walked back out, checked on the snacks, and let them keep laughing and drinking. An hour later, Amanda clinked her glass. Everyone, she called out. Who's ready for a sneak peek at the Sweet 16 playlist? Haley squealed and waved my phone in the air like a trophy. My mom glanced at me and smirked. She's so excited, she said. You have no idea what this means to her. I smiled back. It probably looked wrong on my face, but no one was paying attention. I think I do, I said. When people started leaving, Amanda hugged me at the door. Thanks again for the phone, she whispered. Seriously, you saved me so much stress. I didn't give you my phone, I said quietly. You took it, she rolled her eyes. God, you're dramatic. It's for Haley. Everything's for the kids in the end. You'll survive. Then she walked out with my phone in her pocket. My mom beside her. Both of them already talking about centerpieces and balloon arches. Noah grabbed his coat and glanced up at me. I like the party, Dad, he said. Your place is cool. Thanks, buddy, I said. Next one will be just us. He smiled a little at that. He had no idea what I meant yet. The fallout started the next afternoon. I was at my dining table with Noah building his new desk chair from a flatpack box when my phone lit up. First, an unknown number called 3 times in a row. Then a text, Mark, answer your phone right now. A second later, my mom's name flashed on the screen. I let it go to voicemail. Then, Amanda, why would you cancel the venue? They just called me. What did you do? I watched the notifications pile up while Noah sorted screws into little piles like he was organizing his whole life by size. After the 4th call, Mom sent a long text. The venue said the reservation is gone. Are you out of your mind? Haley is devastated. You embarrassed your sister. You're punishing an innocent child because you're upset about a phone. Grow up and fix this. Call them back and pay whatever you need to pay. I didn't respond. I measured where Noah wanted the chair height, clicked it into place, and asked him to test it. It wobbled a little, but he grinned. Feels like a gamer chair, he said. My phone kept buzzing on the table. Amanda was next. You ruined my daughter's Sweet 16. Do you have any idea how humiliated I am? I already sent the invitations out. All the moms got them. The DJ is booked. The decorator is booked. Lakeshore said, you can lead. Fix it, Mark. Now put the party back, or I'm done with you. Then, and for the record, Haley won't be giving you the phone back. She already set it up. I took a breath and typed one reply to both of them in the group chat. I canceled because it was my reservation and my card. I will not fund a party for a family that thinks it's okay to steal from me and humiliate my kid in my own home. Find another wallet. I hit send. The typing bubbles popped up instantly. Mom, you are being cruel to your niece. After everything we've done for you, I almost laughed at that. Instead, I typed, what you've done for me, criticized my divorce, minimized my son, taken my money. That ends now. I muted the thread. They didn't stay behind the screen for long. 2 days later, just as I was finishing up a meeting on my laptop, someone started pounding on my door. Not knocking, pounding. Noah looked up from his homework at the kitchen counter. I told him to stay put and went to the entry. When I opened the door, Mom and Amanda pushed past me without waiting to be invited in. Behind them was Dave, my brother-in-law, looking like he wanted to be literally anywhere else. So, this is how it is now, Mom said, spinning around in my hallway. You ambush us with a text. After everything we've done for Haley, you rip her party away. She's been crying for 24 hours, Amanda added, eyes red, but angry. More than hurt. I had to go to her school today and tell the principal we're rescheduling the venue because my brother decided to throw a tantrum. I shut the door gently. I didn't throw a tantrum, I said. You stole my phone. Then you called me cheap when I asked for it back in front of my son. Amanda threw up her hands. It's a phone, Mark. You have money. Buy yourself another. Haley's whole life is online. What did you expect me to do? Let her walk around with a cracked screen. Behind them, Noah hovered at the kitchen doorway, trying to look invisible. Mom pointed at him. He doesn't even care. He's old enough to understand. You're the one making this a big deal. Noah shrank back like the finger itself hurt. I stepped in front of him. Don't drag him into this, I said, voice low. Dave finally spoke up. Look, man, he said, hands up. You know we're tight on cash. We were counting on that party. Can't you just put it back on your card and we'll figure something out later? You mean you'll promise to pay me back and then never do it? I said like every other time. Mom's eyes narrowed. Don't talk like we're taking advantage of you. She snapped. We're your parents. Family helps family. I nodded. Exactly, I said. Family helps family, not people who treat my kid like he doesn't exist and my stuff like a community giveaway. Silence for a second. Amanda crossed her arms. So what? That's it, she said. You're just done. You're going to ruin Haley's Sweet 16 and act like you're some hero. She's a child. I know, I said. Which is why I'm not yelling at her for flashing a phone you convinced her was a gift. I'm looking at the adults who knew better and chose to take anyway. Mom scoffed. You're letting your ex get into your head, she said. She always hated how close we were. Is this her idea? Cutting us off, making us the ones at fault. My ex, Jenna, hadn't liked how every second weekend with Noah turned into an errand run for my parents. But she'd never told me to cut them off. She just told me I needed boundaries. This isn't about Jenna, I said. This is about you treating my income like your backup plan and my son like he's optional. I took a breath, feeling strangely calm. The auto transfer stops this month, I said. No more $400. No more emergencies on my card. No more funding parties, trips, or renovations. You are off my accounts completely. Mom stared at me like she didn't recognize the person speaking. You don't mean that, she said. You'll calm down and call the venue in. No, I said I won't. Amanda's voice cracked then, anger bleeding into panic. Do you have any idea what I'm going to tell Haley? She said her Uncle Mark couldn't handle lending her a phone, so he canceled her birthday. Tell her the truth, I said. Tell her her mom took something that wasn't hers and expected someone else to pay for it. Tell her uncle finally stopped letting that happen. Mom shook her head. You're punishing a child, she said again. You're a fool. Noah stepped forward then, voice small but clear. You punish me first, he said. 3 words, that's all he said. Everyone turned. Mom opened her mouth, then closed it. Amanda stared at him, genuinely shocked that he'd spoken. I felt something loosen in my chest. This conversation is over, I said. You need to leave. Mom started another sentence, but I opened the front door and just waited. After a long second, Dave put a hand on Amanda's back and steered her outside. "This isn't over," she hissed as she stepped past me. "It is for me," I said. I shut the door, locked it. Noah stood there in the hallway, chewing the inside of his cheek. "Did I make things worse?" he asked. I shook my head. "No," I said. "You reminded me why I'm doing this." The group chat went silent after that. Instead, they took it to other people. My cousin Ben texted me 2 days later. "Hey man, Mom says you can let Haley's party and cut off your folks. You okay?" I told him the short version. He replied, "Honestly, good for you. We all knew they leaned on you way too hard." A week later, my dad finally called from his own number, not my mom's phone. I let it go to voicemail. His message was tight and bitter. "So this is how you repay us," he said. "We raised you. We helped with Noah when you first got divorced. We opened our home to you. And now your mother can't sleep because her grandson's party is ruined and we're short on bills. All because you need boundaries. You'll regret this when we're gone." He hung up without mentioning the phone or Noah or the fact that he hadn't been to a single one of Noah's band performances, even when they were 10 minutes away. I blocked his number. 2 days before Haley's birthday, Amanda tried one more time. She didn't text. She emailed subject line, "Do this one thing for her." She wrote about how Haley had been looking forward to the party since she was 12. How this would ruin her reputation. How all the moms were whispering. How hard it was to raise a teenage girl in this economy. And how I, with my comfortable salary and no real responsibilities, couldn't possibly understand. No real responsibilities. I read that part 3 times while Noah sat at the table doing algebra. I didn't reply. Instead, I clicked over to my travel rewards portal and used part of a lakeshore credit and some points to book a long weekend in May for me and Noah at a small cabin by a lake a few hours away. Nothing fancy, just a place with a dock, kayaks, and no cell service strong enough for TikTok. When I got the confirmation, I printed it out and stuck it to the fridge with a magnet shaped like a guitar pick. "What's that?" Noah asked. "Our trip." I said, "Just you and me. Early summer, no parties we have to pay for. No one calling us cheap." He read it twice, then smiled in that shy way he has when he's happy, but doesn't want to make a big deal of it. "Can we bring my guitar?" he asked. "Definitely." Haley's Sweet 16 came anyway, just not the way they planned. On the actual day, a Saturday, the weather was gray and slushy. I figured they'd scramble and do something at my parents' house. Pizza, cake, maybe a handful of her friends in the living room. No one invited us, of course. Noah and I had already planned our own thing. We called it Housewarming Part 2. I grilled burgers on the little balcony, even though it was cold. Noah hung up cheap string lights in his room and set up his old speaker. We made a playlist, his music, not some DJs. Around 3:00 p.m., there was a knock on the door. No pounding this time, just a normal knock. Noah looked at me. I sighed and went to open it, bracing for round 3 with my mother. But it wasn't my mom. It was Haley. She stood there in a simple hoodie and jeans, not a party dress. No makeup, hair in a messy bun. And, in her hand, she was holding my iPhone 17. "Hey, Uncle Mark," she said, voice small. "Hey," I said, surprised. "Aren't you supposed to be at your party?" She shrugged one shoulder. "Mom's throwing something at Grandma's," she said. "But I didn't want to go." She looked down at the phone. "I didn't know it was yours," she said. She told me she bought it off a friend who upgraded. I don't know what I thought, but when I saw your lock screen in the video comments, I felt sick. She held the phone out to me. Factory, reset it myself," she said. "All my stuff's gone. It's yours." I took it. It felt heavier than it did a week ago. "Thanks," I said. "You didn't do anything wrong. You believed your mom." She looked over my shoulder at Noah, who was pretending not to eavesdrop. "I saw what people were saying in the family chat," she added. "They're acting like you ruined everything. But Mom and Grandma have been using you for as long as I can remember. Dad, too. He just doesn't admit it." Something in my chest twisted at that. She was 16. She shouldn't have to carry that kind of awareness. "You're welcome to stay." I said, "We're just doing burgers and video games. Nothing fancy. No DJ." She smiled a little. "Honestly, that sounds perfect." Noah perked up when he realized she was staying. He liked Haley, even if he won't admit it. She's one of the few who's ever really talked to him like a person. They spent the evening in his room playing video games and arguing over music. I heard them laughing. Really laughing. Not the strange kind I'd heard at my parents' house my whole life. I set 3 plates at the table. Then, out of habit, I pulled out 2 more and set them down at the end. 1 for my mom, 1 for my dad. I left them empty. We ate, just the 3 of us. Noah told Haley about our lake trip. She said it sounded better than any ballroom. I wish I could come. She joked, then checked herself. Sorry, I know it's a YouTube thing. Maybe next time, I said. If your mom doesn't kill me first, she winced. She's mad, she said. But I get it. You were always paying for stuff. She always acted like it was nothing. I used to think that was normal. I don't anymore. Later, after I dropped her back at my parents' house, she paused at the curb. For what it's worth, she said, if I have to choose between a ballroom and an uncle who actually likes me enough to say no sometimes, I'll pick you. Then she hugged me quickly and ran up the walk. I watched the door open. My mom stood there, eyes shooting straight past Haley to me. She didn't wave. I didn't either. That night, after Noah fell asleep, I sat in the living room with my return phone in my hand. The Sweet 16 venue refund was sitting as a credit on my account. The auto transfer to my parents had been canceled. I pulled my name off Amanda's car loan as soon as legally allowed. No more shared accounts. No more quiet weekly bailouts. My mother did what I expected. Long messages through other people. Guilt-soaked Facebook posts about ungrateful children. Comments about being abandoned in our old age. I didn't reply. When people tried to drag me into the drama, I said the same sentence every time. I won't fund a family my son isn't part of. Simple comb. True. I changed the lock screen on my phone to a picture from that evening. Noah sitting cross-legged on his new desk chair, controller in hand. Haley mid-laugh next to him. Both of them lit up by the cheap fairy lights he'd hung himself. It wasn't a ballroom. There were no balloon arches, no catered buffet, just kids who chose where they felt safe. I left the 2 extra chairs at the end of the table for a while. They stayed empty. Maybe one day my parents will figure out that what they really lost wasn't a venue or a deposit or a shiny new phone. They lost access to the one person who always fixed things with his wallet. And more importantly, they lost the chance to really know a grandson who was standing in front of them this whole time, just waiting for someone to choose him. I'm done chasing their version of family. I've got my own now. 1 lake trip, 1 cracked screen, 1 quiet boundary at A.